Have you ever felt someone slip away from your life so suddenly that it left you questioning everything? One day they were there, the next day something shifted, and no matter how hard you tried to hold on, the connection just broke. You didn't imagine it. Something changed, and it wasn't random. What you felt wasn't rejection, it was intervention. God didn't allow it to continue because it would have cost you too much. By the end of this message, you'll understand why God stepped in when He did, and why His protection often feels like loss before it feels like love. There's a pain that comes with watching someone walk away that cuts deeper than ordinary heartbreak. It's the kind of confusion that keeps you awake at night, replaying conversations, searching for the moment everything changed. You gave your heart, your time, your energy, believing this was part of God's plan for your life. You prayed over this relationship. You saw potential. You believed in what could be. And then, without warning, doors started closing. Phone calls became shorter. Text messages grew cold. Plans were canceled. Distance grew where intimacy once lived. You didn't cause this. You weren't asking for too much. You didn't miss a sign that everyone else could see. What happened wasn't your failure to love correctly or your inability to be enough. The shift you felt wasn't because you lacked faith or because your prayers weren't strong enough. You loved with a pure heart, gave with genuine intentions, and trusted with sincere faith. But sometimes, the very purity of your love becomes the reason God must intervene. You weren't blind to their flaws. You saw the red flags, felt the unease in your spirit during certain conversations, noticed how your peace seemed to evaporate after difficult interactions. But love has a way of making us believe we can heal what we cannot change, fix what we cannot repair, and save what we cannot rescue. Your heart wanted to believe that time would smooth the rough edges, that prayer would soften the hardened places, that your faithfulness would inspire theirs. And this is where most people misunderstand what God was doing. They think the separation happened because they failed somehow, because they didn't pray hard enough, because they didn't love well enough, because they gave up too easily. But what if the opposite is true? What if God intervened precisely because you loved too well, trusted too deeply, and gave too much to someone who couldn't honor what you offered? God sees what you cannot see. He watches from a perspective that spans not just today, but tomorrow, next month, next year. While you saw potential, He saw patterns. While you saw promise, He saw problems that would only deepen with time. While you saw someone worth fighting for, He saw someone who would ultimately fight against the very things that made you who you are: your faith, your peace, your joy, your purpose. When God begins to end a relationship you can't let go of, He doesn't usually send lightning bolts or burning bushes. He works through closed doors, missed connections, growing distance, and fading communication. He allows circumstances to shift in ways that make continuation difficult, if not impossible. What feels like coincidence is actually providence. What looks like bad timing is actually perfect timing. What seems like loss is actually protection. God blocked what your heart couldn't release on its own. He knew that your loyalty would keep you connected to someone who would slowly drain your spiritual vitality. He understood that your hope would make you endure treatment that was beneath your worth as His daughter, His son. He recognized that your love would cause you to accept less than what He designed for your life. Separation was mercy, not loss. The growing distance wasn't rejection of your heart, but protection of your future. God didn't take something from you. He took something off you. The weight of trying to make something work that was never meant to work. The burden of loving someone who couldn't love you the way you deserved. The exhaustion of fighting for a connection that was fighting against your well-being. Think of it this way. When a surgeon removes something from your body that could cause harm, the procedure might be painful, but the purpose is preservation. God sometimes performs surgery on our hearts, removing attachments that could poison our spiritual health, drain our emotional strength, or derail our divine destiny. The removal hurts, but the healing that follows brings life. Your peace left because God was protecting it. You started feeling anxious, unsettled, restless in ways that didn't make sense because your spirit was picking up on things your heart didn't want to acknowledge. The uneasiness wasn't your weakness. It was God's warning system, alerting you to danger your emotions couldn't recognize. Your anxiety wasn't evidence of your insecurity. It was evidence of misalignment. When someone is truly meant for your life, being around them should increase your sense of peace, not diminish it. Their presence should strengthen your connection to God, not weaken it. Their influence should inspire you to become more of who God created you to be, not less. If the opposite was happening, if you found yourself feeling more anxious, more distant from God, more confused about your identity and purpose, then what felt like love was actually a slow-acting poison. This is where God's protection becomes clear. He didn't allow you to continue down a path that would have cost you your peace, your purpose, or your spiritual well-being. He intervened before the damage became irreversible. He stepped in before you lost more of yourself than you could afford to lose. The relationship that's ending or has ended wasn't your failure. It was God's faithfulness. He loved you too much to let you settle for something that would ultimately harm you. He valued your future too highly to let your present attachment jeopardize it. He saw your worth too clearly to let someone else diminish it. God doesn't remove what's meant to stay. What left wasn't your future. It was the obstacle to your future. What ended wasn't your blessing. It was the barrier to your blessing. What you lost wasn't your answer. It was what was preventing you from receiving your real answer. Right now, you have a choice. You can fight against God's protection and continue trying to resurrect what He has allowed to die. Or you can trust His wisdom and allow Him to heal the places in your heart that are grieving. You can resist His intervention and remain stuck in a cycle of pain, or you can receive His peace and step into the freedom He's providing. The door that closed wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of a new chapter. The relationship that ended wasn't the conclusion of your capacity to love and be loved. It was the preparation for a love that will honor who you are and support who you're becoming. If this message brought clarity to your situation, take it as confirmation that God protected you in ways you couldn't see at the time. His love for you is so deep, so intentional, so protective that He will intervene when necessary to guard your heart, preserve your purpose, and secure your future.